Hey, it's time to do a bit that we call Fezzy recommendations from F.R.E.D. That's Fez, Ron, Earl, and Dave telling you stuff we want you to go out and see or check out.
And now it's time for the F.R.E.D recommendations.
That's my other favorite, Steve.
And now it's time for the F.R.E.D recommendations.
Yeah, F.R.E.D recommendations. We'll follow right along. Fred starts with F. Fezzy, what do you got for us?
I have a Christmas gift idea that I'm recommending for people that have small children to probably 8 or 9, 10 years old to buy.
Cigars?
No, not cigars, my friend.
They make them out of gum, Fezzy, and kids love them.
I'm recommending this now because these things are going to be off the shelves quick. They're called Snugglers. They're like a combination of stuffed animal and pillow. They have them for boys and girls. The girls, they have the Disney princesses. These things are going to be huge. You're hearing it here. You want to go out and get the Snugglers now. Your kids are going to love them.
Are you Rosie O'Donnell? Is that the type of person who would recommend a Snuggler? I've never heard of him. Have you, Dave?
No, I haven't. I'm excited to buy one, though, now.
It's going to be huge. They're going to be hard to find on the shelf.
Well, do you sleep with them? What do you do?
Yeah, you sleep with them. They're like a stuffed animal, and then there's also a pillow that goes with them.
Now, do kids want this, or did you get caught up in some big marketing wave that's taken off? Because every Christmas has the toy that, you know, must be, and then the mothers fight about it.
Right, yeah, because now it's one of those new Elmos that you can't get on the shelves, or PS3.
This is a Snuggler?
The Snuggler.
This year it's going to be bigger than PS3?
It's going to be huge, and you're going to have trouble finding them if you don't start going now.
But if we never heard of it before, why do we need one? And why would our children need one if they've never heard of one before?
These kids are wacky with their word of mouth. These kids are going to know about Snugglers, and they're going to want them, and you're not going to be able to find them.
I disagree. I think they get it from you in commercials. That's the word of mouth. The parents are going, don't you want a Snuggler? Because the kid who's 3 has no idea what they want. I'm going to find you a Snuggler. All right. Now, Fezzy, you gave me something to keep an eye on. All right, Fred, second letter R, Ron, I'm going to give you a little TV show to watch. This one's on the Game Show Network, and it's called The Real Match Game Behind the Blank. And it's a documentary that's running on the Game Show Network right now about Match Game.
Oh, this sounds great. I love Match Game.
And they rip each other pretty good.
Sweet.
You find out who hated who thought this thing, you know, and the wave that took off from it. And it's all kind of fun because it's so stupid, and yet it was really big money and really important to the people that were doing it. You know, you feel like embarrassed sometimes when you're going, it's just Match Game. But they were fucking serious as a heart attack about who got to do what.
And Match Game is one of those things where you're like, how did Brett Summers, where did Charles Nelson Riley come from? Like,
all those things come up.
How? Oh, really?
We find out who Brett is. It's because of her husband asked for it. Charles Nelson Riley happened to work with one of the people who invited him in, and everybody on the show was jealous of Richard Dawson.
Had to be.
Extremely jealous of Richard Dawson. But there's a perfect thing. After Richard kind of went over and got Family Feud, first of all, he became like a big star. After he got Family Feud, he kind of thought that Match Game was beneath him. So he comes in and he's going, I got a problem with my eye. I got to wear these glasses with like a little sunglass thing in them. He never took them off again. It's like he no longer wanted to be known for being on, like, please, I'm embarrassed to be here. It was so stupid and great and funny, and people could get high in those years. Let me just ask you this. Where was the peak, if you even go back and watch them now, Match Game, what year?
I would say 77.
76.
75.
I'm going to agree with Earl here. Even though it's just a judgment call, I think 76 was the peak. We're riding the wave, and we haven't started hating each other yet. You know, you could do that with, like, almost any band where, like, hey, we're really popular, but we haven't hit the downward crest yet. But anyway, it's called Match Game, The Real Match Game Behind the Blank. It's stupid, but it's great. In December, they're going to do one behind the scenes with Chuck Barris, and it's going to be a documentary about him.
On when college football runs out on Saturdays, I always know 3 o'clock and 3:30. Game Show Network, Match Game. It's
a very bizarre thing that people still watch a stupid game show from the 30s.
And how soused were they when they were doing these shows?
They would break for lunch. So Monday and Tuesday, not a drunk show. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, pretty fucked up, pretty hammered.
I totally agree with the Richard Dawson, everyone jealous of him. He was always the guy that got picked for the bonus round. You can pick one celebrity to help you, and it was always Dawson.
They do that whole piece, and then they also did how they eventually came up with the wheel, where you had to spin a wheel, and that's the person you had to match with. And Richard took that as an affront to him. That was a slap at him, and the glasses got darker.
Well, Richard was good at that bonus segment. See, the thing is, other people didn't take it as seriously, and Brett Summers was always screwing around.
Right.
But Richard Dawson...
Now, Brett Summers was a fucking retard. If you go back, she didn't, like, screw around like, I don't care. She had no idea what to do. And, like, she was like later, those questions were stupid. Nobody could do them. And they would just show that... They had like a short montage of when questions would, like Brett would just have a face on her like, what? That doesn't mean anything.
She needed her husband to explain.
All right, so now I see that you guys would love this.
Yes.
My thing. And let me just say this. The feedback over Snugglers is unbelievable. I didn't see anybody getting involved with Snugglers. Fred, third letter, Earl. Earl, what do you got for us? What do we need?
Just in time for the holidays, there is a new box set out, 4-CD box set out called Hooker by John Lee Hooker.
Oh, I love John Lee Hooker.
And what makes this box set unique is that it covers his entire 50-year career, all the labels he recorded from, basically from his first recording to his last recording. It's all in one box set.
He's phenomenal, too, man.
I mean,
and that guy was fucking an old man and still cool as hell.
I mean, they didn't. I mean, in the booklet, this man was never young.
Yeah, right. He was born elderly. He was born an old blues man.
I mean, he looked a million when he was like 24. I mean, he just had that cigarette alcohol.
Hard time.
Yeah, that hard grizzled face look on his face. I mean, and it's an unbelievable box set. And
I was in a situation one time in a club where I almost opened for him, and the club was going, hey, I don't know about money, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck, you know, I'll go up and I just want to fucking say, I fucking opened for John Lee Hooker, and then the whole thing didn't work out. I was so pissed.
They did a tribute show to him at the Garden, and he came out last. It was him and his guitar. I never heard a room with 20,000 people, and you could hear a pin drop. Yeah. He was just so captivating. It's such a
magnetic. He really was. He's a lot of magnetism. There was a great story that around the time of the Blues Brothers, Saturday Night Live was a gigantic show, and somewhere in New York, John Lee Hooker is standing there at the bar, right? And he's talking to these two really young white broads, and he's working them. And in come Belushi and Aykroyd, and they want to have him, you know, join up with them and do stuff with the Blues Brothers and all. And he's talking to these two, you know, like 20-year-old white girls, right? And he's got to be a million. And he's sitting there, and Aykroyd comes up, and he goes, John Lee Hooker, John Belushi, I'm a big fan. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man. Thank you very much. And he goes, I'm John Belushi. Yeah, thanks, brother. I'm in the middle of a conversation. And he goes, we're John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Don't you watch us? We're on TV. And Hooker looks over at him and goes, oh, yeah. You them Muppets, ain't you? Just fucking diss somebody who's at the prime of their career. Don't you see him doing something here, man? Take off. Oh, look at this. He might have surpassed me, because already Hard Rock Johnny wants to jump into this.
Hello, boys.
How you doing, Johnny?
Good.
Johnny.
How's everybody doing?
Good, pal.
I went to go see the Stones when I was in high school. Steel Wheels Tour in Atlantic City. It was one of the few indoor shows. John Lee Hooker was opening for the Stones. And he comes out, and he sits down on the stage, and he starts to play. And you can't understand a single word he says. He says, Keith Richards came out and got him off the stage.
Really, just all fucked up?
You know, if Keith Richards is pulling you off the stage for being fucked up, you gotta be really
Either that or John Lee had something in his pocket.
It was unbelievable. I was all excited to see him, and he just couldn't understand a word he said.
Johnny, why don't you come in and see us soon?
I think I was talking earlier yesterday about coming in maybe on Friday to bring a little food for the boys.
Very nice. So remember the rule.
There's always dessert. That's part of the meal.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Except not for Fez, because according to him on his list, it gave him a heart attack.
Yeah, it did. All right, Johnny, talk to you on Friday,
boys.
buddy.
See ya.
I'm working my way back into desserts.
I'm working my way to desserts, babe. Fred, F.R.E. Now it's D, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
So far, we went from Snuggles, a free TV show. I'm the only one offering free things
Snuggler.
to people. What's it called?
Snugglers.
Never heard of this thing.
You
It's
will.
Going to be gigantic.
Huge.
Yeah. Mine was Behind Match Game. Earl, of course, a very expensive John Lee Hooker thing that really I think that the record company should send to me just as a way of being nice.
You can get mine for $14-15. It's if you like rock and roll of any genre, whether you're fucking 15 or 65, you're going to want this band that very few people have heard of. They're called the Greenhorns. And their self-titled albums, 2001, the Greenhorns, one of the best rock albums of all time.
What's it sound like?
It sounds like maybe a throwback to late 60s rock, maybe a little bit of Animals, a little bit of Doors, maybe some Stones, maybe some Velvet Underground.
Sounds like garage rock.
Garage rock is what
All
I
right,
would
we
say.
got some of it here, Earl?
Get out your cigars, Mr. B. Get out the poker chips. Whatever. Get out the beer, the whiskey. This is for real men.
I don't know. I'm not against it, but I have heard the Animals already in my life, and I don't know if I need the new Animals. What was your initial thing, Earl?
My initial take was like the Animals, but I dig it. I like this song.
I like it, but it didn't feel like it was...
Every track is great, though, too. And that one is, yes, definitely Animals-esque, but there's some other tracks that aren't like
a
that.
rip-off of other bands.
Pearl Jam.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Fez.
Yeah, Dave's reviews are always remind me of like those kids from Reading Rainbow. He's so retarded. See ya!
Well, it's not a review, it's a recommendation. The Greenhorns. Get their self-titled album. One of the best rock albums you'll hear. Every track is golden.
Well, how did you find out about them? Who opened up the Greenhorns? Oh, you cover the waterfront? Is that it? Scoop?
No, I located them when I was in Jersey.
Yeah.
And
Jersey band?
No, they're actually from Cincinnati, Ohio, but they played the Stone Pony. I thought, all right.
That's nice, Cincy band.
15 minutes from my house, I'll go over and see him, and I thought, oh my God, these guys are awesome.
And you start crying, you're like, I love you guys! Where's the merch table? Get me to the merch table!
But since then, they've played Irving Plaza and shit. They're starting to blow up, so.
Yeah. Sky, Erman Fez.
Hey, buddy, if
Yeah.
you listen to that chorus or the verse, it sounds just like I'm a Believer by the Monkees, like the same guitar breakdown.
I thought it was a little bit Monkees, too, there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They're more,
66 Monkees.
Yeah. They like the late 60s, but they're much more of there's more power in the Greenhorns than the Monkees. My goodness.
That was Fred Recommendations.
All right, not too bad. I have to admit this. The only thing I won't be looking into is the Snuggles.
Really?
I don't like to be, and you know what? You may be on the wave. I don't know how you found out about this, whether you read an article or talked to somebody. I don't like to be part of the, hey kids, you need a product thing.
Well, this one hasn't, taken off yet, but I think it definitely will.
How did you hear about it?
I saw it in a catalog.
I got news for you. I don't like children that aren't mine. I'm not very comfortable around them all the time, particularly if they're not related. And I don't think I want to give them the present that they really want. I'd rather give a kid something that they're not too fond of, or just give them the straight cash and do the angle of, here's a 20, don't tell your sister. That's just for you. Don't tell anybody. That's your money.
You just described like my last 3 Christmases. I give everybody cash now, and I'm the hero of the house.
You're Johnny Cash. They're jumping up and down like you're Johnny Cash. Yeah, little kids can make you feel awkward now. I don't know. There's certain time. I don't know. It's because we're men, and society has set it up. But I don't like a kid jumping up on my lap that isn't, my kid. It's very uncomfortable for me. I'm like, okay, stop hugging. We live in a world where people like me get arrested for hugging.
Yeah, I'm definitely that type of person. I think the one equalizer now with my nieces and nephews, or especially my nephews, are video games. Where
hit them with a video game, but don't you think that there's lines that kids can cross with you? Doesn't
Absolutely. My Claire has a nephew, and when I am hungover and like to be on the couch watching TV, he likes to get on top and like take a nap and watch TV with me.
Right.
Basically laying with me on top of me. And her sister, the mother, saw it and was like, "Get off!" She totally freaked out, and
I know.
she yelled at me, and I'm like, I didn't ask the kid to come over here. He felt.
Right, but you're not a blood relative.
No.
And there he is laying on top of you like the two of you are awkward lovers, and it's fucking uncomfortable. The other day I'm walking through Central Park, and I see a little kid on the path with a balloon that had to be like 2. And it looked like walking by himself. And I'm like, I don't want to be I don't want this kid to run off. But I also don't want to be the guy who grabs the kid with the balloon, and I'm standing there as the fucking mother comes running across the goddamn lawn. Lay off of my son! It was an awkward fucking moment. I had to pull back like Iceman, just kind of shadow along, looking for the mother without making a big deal out of it.
I was on the subway, and I was I guess, crowding this little child who was in a baby carriage.
That's bad.
But I wasn't, no, Mr. B, it was rush hour, the whole thing was totally crowded. Well, the kids started to push me, because I guess I was invading the kid's personal space.
Right.
But the father looked down and was like, yo, get away from my son.
Right.
Give him some space. And I'm like, it's rush hour, I have nowhere to go.
But now it looks like you stand with your balls over the fucking crib. It looks just terrible.
I had this weird situation when I was home over the holidays.
You're banging a kid in the ass.
No, not that story. But
that one I hate.
But a friend of mine brought her little niece around, a little 5-year-old niece, and I had never met this kid before.
And you're not even comfortable around little girls.
No, especially. And this little niece took like a liking to me and was like all of a sudden calling me uncle.
I hate that too.
Out of nowhere, asking me to tie her shoes. And not asking anyone else. There's plenty of other adults, but she kind of like focused on me and wanted me to pick her up and hold her.
Yeah.
Can you carry me?
You know, one of the things I noticed is, because I try not to like kids, they like people who don't dote on them. Like, they try to win that fucking fella over. And they're like, oh, you want to see my room? And I'm like, not without the rest of the family. I'm not fucking going in there one-on-one. This is a setup, you little freak.
Do you ever get awkward when, like, non-relatives who are your friends will introduce you to their kids as, oh, here's Uncle Ron?
I don't like it. I'm not fond of it. Wait a this. When you have kids, right? Like, their friends will be around. The little girls, sometimes you'll see, they must come some fucked up thing. They try to call you Dad, right? Like, Dad, yeah, like, your kids will be like, Dad, can we? And they're like, yeah, come on, Dad. And I'm like, hey, I'm their dad. I'm fucking nothing to you. At all.
I swear it's like flirting with these little kindergarten, preschool age girls. It's flirting.
All right, now you're sick, and that's what fucking gets guys like you in the prison. It's not flirting. It's something else, but society has taken it that way.
But that's the creepy feeling you get from it when a kid gets too close to you.
Here's Paul. Paul, you're on Fez. Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, these snuggles that Fez is talking about, my wife gave one to my daughter when she was a baby. She's 14 now, so if they'd blown up by now, I think maybe they're not.
They're not snuggles, they're snugglers. This is new.
This is the oldest thing in the book.
I didn't say a slinky.
He just tried to bring back pound puppies.
Oh, you know what? Earl, make the changes. Fred has now become red.
No!
I cannot have him.
No!
This has to be cutting-edge new stuff for people. I don't want Fez coming in with, there's something new called a slinky. It's a magical toy. It seems to walk down the stairs. What do you got else over there, Fez? That's your sketch?
That is a new item, Snugglers.
It's as new as the hula hoop, that's for sure. The latest craze. Hey, Soccer Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how's it going? I got a similar story. I was working at the mall, and this little kid was playing by the escalator, and she was putting her hands on the bottom of the escalator, and I was worried that she was gonna, cut her fingers off or something. And I walked up, and I was like, "You might not want to play here." And she screams out, "Don't touch me!" And everybody was.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
they
horrible.
teach the fucking kids to yell this out. My kids had, defense class, and one part of it was yelling the phrase, "This is not my father." So, part of it was, the teacher would teach them, kick, block, and then he grabs them, and the child yells, "This is not my father, this is not my father," as loud as you can.
Oh, my God.
So they're always looking at men now. We're like fucking vampires to them. And then we also see them as the enemy. Because it's a creepy fucking world. You do not want to end up down the police station going, I swear to God I wasn't trying to do anything to this child. You'll look like a maniac down there. I want no part of it. Jake, you're on Fez.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I had an old coworker of mine. I had to use his restroom, so he told me to go ahead and go. And when I went to use the restroom, there was this 4-year-old stepdaughter inside the bathroom by herself in the tub, naked, and the fucking toilet was right there in front of her, man. I just couldn't know what the fuck to do.
Obviously, you don't take a piss next to a child's head.
Well, yeah, but I knew that. I just didn't know how to react to telling, hey, bro, this ain't going to happen today.
You should have just gone in the tub.
See, that would have been bad, Fezzy.
Well, you know, tempted, but you know.
No, don't even joke about such things.
No, but that actually is a good point, because I remember, going to the beach in Spring Lake, and you would always see in the public showers little girls who were like 4 or 5, totally naked. And in view of the public, I'm talking...
Oh, you mean outside showers?
Outside showers, the parents would have them naked.
Right.
Why? What are you doing that for?
Well, because it is an innocent thing. We're the ones polluted through the media over these years. There should be nothing sexual about a little girl. Do you understand that, right?
I do, yeah.
You shouldn't feel anything, nor should there. When Fezes do that, I swear they're flirting. That's a sick fucking thought that we have. They're not attracted to you.
I know you shouldn't be, and I'm not sexually attracted, but you can't stop staring.
No, see, this is a whole different fucking conversation.
I'm not sexually aroused.
Why are you staring?
Because there's like a small naked person in the shower.
Yes, that is aroused. That's a fucking problem. My thing was, society has set us up to be awkward each other. Your thing, and I'll throw in Fez there as well, you're saying society needs to feel awkward because you two have just came up with grown-up thoughts for these little fucking babies. Earl, you and I will be dining alone today.
Oh.
Thank you.
Why?
Away from the Ped Society.
Not the Peds. I'm just saying the creepy feeling it gives you.
Yes, but you said they're flirting with us. He says I can't stop staring at a child that's naked. It's sick, both of you.
So if you're at the beach and you see, like, let's say parents playing with their baby in the water and the baby's naked, no diaper on, you feel uncomfortable or awkward?
Aroused.
No, I do feel a little uncomfortable with a naked baby, but come on, I know a baby can be naked, but when the girl is 4 years old and you just see that like small little vagina and everything, it's really disturbing. But I can't stop looking either.
You're fucking disturbing. Seriously.
Well, she shouldn't be naked.
This is why we can't have a normal fucking show. And look at me, I'm serious as hell. I can't sit here with you guys and have fucking adult conversations. You're inappropriate. You're sick. You're fucking demented. I want to take this tape and give it to the FBI. I want to have you have some fucking chip put in behind your ear so they can track you at all times.
Well, don't.
2006, people should be clothed over the age of 1. There you go. You can do that. Ah!
Oh, that one actually caught in the fucking back, in the fat of his back. I watched it just stick there.
He caught it in between flabs.
Oh.
Garbage man, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, what's happening?
Yeah.
Nice store, by the way. Hey, what bugs me, we come home, we got 15-year-old girls that babysit for us, and they don't look like 15. And when we get home, my wife's like, okay, give her a ride home. I'm like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, you know, you got to say to your wife, have you ever read fucking Penthouse Forum? Do you understand what fucking the world is about? Have you ever watched a single porn? Don't put me in this situation.
Oh, I know. And she makes me feel guilty. She goes, well, I told her mother that you would give her a go. First of all, you're testing me. I'm going to fail. I promise you that.
Right. Smart.
But I'm not. All I have to do is that girl says one little thing that I touched her or whatever.
Right. Done. And then everything you ask is going to appear creepy.
That's right. You know.
And then maybe you make the mistake a la Fez and think of something innocent as being something different.
You can't take any chances in this world.
Keith, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys, what's going on today?
Yeah, good.
Here's my thing. About 15 years ago, I get married to my wife now. She's in a previous marriage, 2 little girls. One's 2, one's 8. I told her from day one, I'm not going to be anywhere near these little girls. I don't want to, bathing, whatever. As years go on, I'm trying the best as I can to stay, just be a good stepdad, this, that, and the other thing. No, any funny scenarios. 2 years into it, we get a knock on the door. There's cops there, DCYS up here in Connecticut, her first husband, saying that I was inappropriately touching his daughters and you know, whatever, just because I was just trying to be a good dad and, you know, put them to bed, this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, one thing led to another, and here I am for the next year and a half. Every Saturday, I got to have role play with 2 dolls and 3 people watching me. You know, it's insane.
Nightmare.
You know,
it is common for the ex-husband to do, and it is common for the ex-husband to be paranoid about.
Well, no, not
shit.
paranoid. He was just an ass, you know.
Right.
Because I took his wife away from him. But then you got to worry about 15 years, 16 years down the road. Now I got a girl who's 22. And 15, and they're like the last caller just said, they're bringing their friends over, and I don't know what's in the food these days, but they're sprouting, you know, hoots and this, that, and the other thing, walking around swimming pool half naked. And I'm like, you know what? I'm back where I was when these girls were 2 and 5 years old, 2 and 8 years old. Now I got to leave the house again because I don't want anybody looking at me like I'm, you know, the perverted old man.
You seriously should move just into an apartment till they're gone. You got to get the chick on her own. This whole thing about,
I know.
You know, we live in a world where we're all raising each other's kids. And then we also live in a world of
I mean, it's a good thing now, but, you know, it's just weird being a guy around, you know, girls. It's, you know, especially like you said before, when they're not your own, man, oh, man, you're in a world of shit. I could do anything I want to my son because he's mine.
Right.
But the 2 stepdaughters, when they were at his age, it was like I was on guard duty. You know, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything. It was insane. It was like being on parole.
All right, thanks, Keith. It's a crazy fucking world we live in. It's literally a crazy world that we live in. We're out of our minds out there.
Just doesn't seem worth it.
And Earl, the chances are you now. I know you want to get married, right?
Yeah, I'd love to get married one day.
Dave, I'm not going to bring it up to you, but, you know, Pitsy is going to, you know, he's young. He wants to get married, but he'll start a family. You are going to have a ready-made family, Earl. There's no way that you're going to find a woman your age that doesn't have a past.
Yeah, that's true. But unless I marry someone younger,
10.
you know, like in their like mid-20s or something. But.
Then you'll be Grandpa Dad. Here comes Grandpa Dad. He's the slowest dad at the race.
I'm not that slow yet, but I don't know. I'm at the point now. I'm starting to think my whole thing about kids as a whole.
Oh, they're holes?
No.
Why, Earl? Why?
No, the concept of having children.
You don't want them.
I'm starting to lean that way.
Yeah, you're not going to get married, Earl.
Because I don't want to be.
I'm not fucking saying this to be mean or anything, but you're no different than Fez. You're really the same guy Fez is.
Not the same. I'm far from the same guy as Fez.
Fez, don't you think that he lives closer to your lifestyle than what could be considered, you know, the American regular deal?
Oh,
not that one lifestyle is better than the other, but he's going for that solo guy. Just, I'm on my own.
Yeah, he's a mirror image of me.
Yeah. Do you think, really?
Yeah, I think Earl's totally like me.
I think he's worse than Fez, because I think Fez is more sociable than Earl. I mean, like I said, you know, my parents invite him out to dinner. He had nothing to do, and he wouldn't come. He's very antisocial.
I don't mind him. I don't blame him for not going out with you and your family.
I wouldn't have gone.
That's odd. Do you think he's antisocial?
No, I don't think he's antisocial. I think he has like some sort of social phobia, though. He's better on his own. He likes that.
Fez needs 19 hours a day alone. Earl probably is in the 16 to 17 hour range, where he will go out, you know, to a club or something, or to a concert, and show up and meet people. But it's not much. It's more. It's closer to what Fez is than you are to a guy who, you know, starts a family. That's for sure.
I think Earl's almost there. He just needs to. He's a little rough around the edges. Like, he'll go out and bring his camera with him everywhere. You know, it's those little things that if he switched that, he would be fine. You know.
Oh, you think he's almost a regular guy?
Yeah, it's just like he carries his camera around and stuff like that. And
but he's alone here at work a lot. He lives alone. 10 years has gone by. He's I'm not saying lonely guy because it's a choice. I think of a lonely guy as a guy who was, boy, I wish I could have more friends and date. Fez has removed himself from that. Everybody wants to hang out with fucking Fez. He won't do it. Earl will show up at the party late, leave early, and that's all that keeps him from being Fez.
That's where I think he's more social phobic than antisocial, where I think Earl might want to jump in a little bit more than I do, but there's some sort of fear that keeps him there from doing it.
I've always had this. I will admit I have some sort of like a phobia. I don't want to be like the first guy at a party, but I don't want to be the last guy at a party either.
And also, I mean, you say you never had a roommate of any kind, male or female.
No, I mean, like when I moved out of the house, I moved out alone. I mean, my original plan was my brother and I were going to room together, but he's as much of a loner as I am, and he was just like, I prefer to live alone. And I was like, fine, I can respect that. And the first opportunity I got was a chance to live alone.
No. Dave, do you need time alone?
Yeah, I need time alone, but I like to be around people.
How much time do you feel like you need?
45 minutes.
Oh, that's all?
To an hour and a half, yeah. Like 2 or 3 spanks. Then I'm good.
See, I seriously can't do a fucking show.
No, but
Obviously,
I'm being serious.
Jerk off alone. I'm talking, you think the whole time that Fez needs 19 hours to jerk off? No. People do other things besides jerk off.
No, my thing with
fucking jerk
the
off.
thing I noticed with Dave is, he's a lot more, he's a very social guy to begin with, but when he's drinking, he is the life of the party. He wants to get everybody involved, regardless of whether they know him or not.
Yeah, he actually makes other people have social problems because he pushes humans away.
I could never do a thing like Dave did last weekend, where we heard the Pal Talk tapes yesterday of him going over to Alki and Solera's house and then just spending the night there. I could never go over to someone's house and just spend the night if my home was in, a reasonable distance.
You wouldn't crash show somewhere when you're partying drunk?
No, I wouldn't, yeah.
See, I'm the type of person, if I go to a party and there's I don't drink anyway, but I wouldn't get that fucked up either. I mean, I wouldn't get so drunk to the point where...
You can't speak. You don't drink.
No, I understand that, though, but if I did drink, I wouldn't get myself into such a condition where...
You can't say that if you haven't
that's a whole
drank.
different thing.
You can't say that if you haven't drank. That's impossible to say.
Dave's an alcoholic, so you can't... Yeah, to say I would not be an alcoholic, it's like saying I wouldn't want to, have a fucking allergy, I wouldn't want to be a fucking... a guy who sneezes every time he's around flowers. This guy is Irish. You don't have the same bloodline. Here's Jameson. Jameson, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, guys. I met the two of them last week. I was in the studio. Thank you very much. Fez, very confident, very cordial. Earl, very much the same, but at the same time, nothing was going on. Earl, I don't know if you remember this, and you're like, things are just really busy right now. I got to get going. And I said, okay.
But, he does have things to do before and after the show.
I understand that, but it seemed like there wasn't too much going on at the time, and you kind of freaked out. So that was my perception of the situation, but I just wanted to kind of throw my 2 cents in there. But thank
everybody
you guys for
remember
having me.
Jameson?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a buddy who came by. He's a frequent caller, and he just swung by.
How come I don't remember this guy? Did I meet him?
Yeah, I think
Fez,
very
did you
briefly.
meet him?
I must have met him because he said I was nice to him, but I honestly don't remember.
Do you remember him at all, Earl?
No.
Jameson, you must be the least fucking memorable person ever. How can we not remember a guy who came in?
Yeah, it was very brief. I think he came in just to watch for a little bit and then left.
Richard, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I'm listening to you guys dissect Black Earl and Fez, and I'm thinking, if I saw them on the street, I'd be kind of analyzing them, watching how they act. Do you think that they have some kind of paranoia just because they lay themselves bare out on the air every day?
Well, no, it is more... Yeah, I don't think that either one of these guys is different from anyone on the street. The reason why they're the focus of this is that they... I don't know how we came up with this, but they've chosen to live alone their life. Where Earl has some kind of social life. Well, at least you do some dating, right?
Yeah, I do some dating. I do go out, and if there's a hot show going on in town, or a movie or whatever.
Fez, you really prefer home.
Yeah, I like a difference between me and Earl is I like to get back to my home, get back to my apartment, where Earl seems to not want to do that. He wants to stay in the office all night.
Right, and even if it's a social occasion, you're thinking about getting home.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to go do this and then go home.
Right, yep.
And then the other thing is Earl likes to date. Even though he's not good at it, and he can't get steady of it, that doesn't interest you at all, Fez.
No, I like my solitary life.
But is
like
Earl...
a monk. Like a monk with cartoons.
Does Earl really date, or is he going out with chicks like as pals. You know what I mean?
So what's your point here? You're fucking saying he's what? Not masculine?
No, I don't think he's trying. I don't think he's actually. Otherwise, you would never say to a girl who you quote unquote like, "I have to go. I'm going to drop mud." You wouldn't say that to a girl you like on the fucking phone.
I would never said that.
Yes, you did.
Say it to my own chick.
You said it.
I think it's fucking too blunt.
You said it, but anyway. So I think he likes being alone.
I forget that part of it. You're saying he doesn't even want to date.
No, because he says I go out to shows, but he doesn't go out to shows a lot of times with people. You know that Earl goes to a lot of concerts by himself.
So David's saying that he doesn't want. He not only doesn't want to date, what he does couldn't be considered dating.
Correct. And
I know he gets laid though. And he told me.
Just by being in public doesn't mean you're not alone, so to speak. You know what I mean? I mean,
What are you saying? He has to be married before you're comfortable with him?
No, but go on a real date, neck with the girl or whatever, make out with the girl in the movie theater or something.
I think it's a whole different. First of all, this isn't 1958. Second of all, that's a whole different issue. You're talking about sexuality. We're talking about social interaction.
Well, what I'm saying is he is very close to Fez. The only difference is Fez likes to be in his house and Earl likes to be in public, but they're still both alone.
They still have a wall up.
Exactly.
Do you agree with that, Earl?
I mean, I'll admit I'm a very private person to a degree, as much as I can, as far as being on the radio and everything, but I'll put up a wall between where work ends and where, let's say, my relationship with my parents begins and ends, and where
you're not like Dave bringing your parents in here.
No, I mean, like, I wouldn't even think about it unless they were like in the city or like, hey, can we see your office? If they asked me, I would show them, but it's never. Hey, I want you to come see the office.
All right, let me ask you this, Earl. You happy?
Yeah,
you are happy.
You're
living the life you want to live all the time. There's not some other better life of Earl that you wish you were living, that you're more social and maybe in a real relationship and maybe even kids on the outside.
I will admit that I didn't see myself being single at this age. I will definitely admit.
You thought you were straight.
I am straight, but I never saw myself being single at this age, ever.
How about you, Fezzy? Is this the life you want to lead? Are you living it?
Yeah, I believe so, because I'm so uncomfortable outside of my barriers, outside of my bounds. You know, I get really uncomfortable.
Okay, but there's no kind of fantasy life where that discomfort doesn't take place? Like, you're not some guy about town having fun, doing things, jet skiing, on a yacht with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even exist in a fantasy world feel?
No, I can't see any of that appealing to me.
You always want to keep a nice small life.
Yeah.
A nice small ordered life.
Right.
And that's choice. It's not because you feel uncomfortable when you go out.
It's more choice. I mean, to me, it was like a social situation is more of something that I just don't like rather than something that makes me so uncomfortable or phobic.
But I have seen you have fun in those situations.
Yeah, I'm not incapable of having fun when I go out.
Do you have fun at home? Would you consider that fun, being alone?
Yeah, I think I have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's funny, Dave?
Why are you laughing?
Say the truth.
What you're having fun alone in your house?
Yes.
He's immediately thinking of jerking off again.
No, I wasn't. I don't know. What do you do in your house?
Whatever I want.
Sounds silly.
No, I mean, I as much as I love being home, but I can only do it in almost in spots. At some point, I'm like, I just got to get out of the house. I just got to.
You never feel that, Fez?
No, mine's the opposite. I got to get in the house. Mine's just the opposite.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, like during that time, when we had that time off, I reached this point where I was like, okay, I've seen enough movies.
Right.
I got enough sleep. I just got to do something. I just got to be out and about.
Let's go back to you, Fezzy. You're all alone.
Right.
You're at your house. How do you have that fun day? What's fun for you?
I don't know. The day seems to, fly by. I don't even feel like I would have time. You know, I'm here, the certain amount of time that we are.
3 hours.
Right.
You now have 21 hours a day.
And that 21 seems to just go by in a shot. I clean my house. I go on the computer. I watch TV. I'll watch a DVD. I'll read comic books or a magazine article. I will get something to eat. I mean, I'm telling you what I do.
What are you laughing at, Dave?
No,
you're saying it's not fun?
I mean, I think they're, as you say, passing the time. But I mean, you're not really having fun like vacuuming your apartment.
I do enjoy cleaning.
But there's what
you find yourself smiling and laughing while you're doing it.
No, but Dave, what some people consider fun might not necessarily be my version of fun, and what you consider fun might not be, Ron's version of fun. You know what I mean?
I know that. That's true with me and you. I mean,
like when you call me drunk and you say, "Hey, let's watch, Indiana Jones marathon." That's your idea of fun.
What month is this? That fucking hasn't happened. It's like February.
Why are you checking your watch to see what month?
Because there's a calendar on it.
What's it say?
It says it's November. And that hasn't happened 10 months.
But honestly, if you spending a day watching DVDs might be your version of fun.
Well, that's true. I do.
But it might not necessarily be my version of fun, especially of a movie. If it's like a series or a movie I've seen a million times or what have you, Fez might enjoy keeping the house clean.
Look, Hal, you relate to Fez,
yeah,
Earl, just so you know.
No,
you are Fez.
I understand that.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's my idea of fun, but I understand
We're
that.
exactly the same. Split down the middle, Earl.
We are not the same.
The only difference is Ben will make you come out every once in a while, and we leave Fez alone.
Yeah, he'll definitely be like, hey, we're hanging out here, we're hanging out
This is the funny thing about Fez, though. If I called him on a Saturday and he's doing his thing, and I could go, oh, be here at 5 o'clock. He would fucking go all the way there, going, okay, let's see. You know what I mean? Like, he will do it, but he won't have the idea to do it. You know what I mean? Like, It wouldn't occur to him, hey, Ron, I have an idea. Meet me at this restaurant. That's never happened. You know what I'm saying?
And how many years that I've known you?
Yeah,
all of
forever. Because, of course, that person is expected to pick up the tab as well. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he will go, if I go, hey, I'm doing this,
You have to initiate the fun.
Yeah, I would have to say. And then normally he'll say, yeah, I had a good time. Thanks.
I always have a good time, yeah.
But it never occurs to him, I could leave or do something.
Yeah, that I could do this. A lot of times, I think more than antisocial or even phobic or anything like that, I think a lot of me is just laziness. Where it's like I don't feel like getting ready and going out.
I don't think so. I think it's more of safety first. I think you put up a barrier. But what you're saying is if I start to line up dates for you, if I go on J-Date and find some nice Jewish people for you, and notice I said people because I don't judge, I think that's what I could do to help you.
Why would I go on J-Date?
Just to meet people.
Yeah.
I want you to meet somebody successful. I'm not going to put you on N-Date.
White people are so scared of black people.
Here's somebody I know that can help you, Fez. Jay Moore.
Oh, good.
Jay, how are you, buddy?
Hey, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
This is my J-Date.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
Oh, brother. Listen, I kind of agree with Earl's a bit of an anomaly because for the first 8 years I knew him, I would have put my hand on a stack of Bibles and swore he was a homosexual.
Yeah, I thought so at first, too.
Like, he can't even stand up straight. Like, he just got cracked in the back. Like, he's always kind of got that bad, like, I just got asked, posture. And Fez, I have to say, I sort of know where you're coming from. It's not as strange to me because when you get out in the world and you go to a bunch of places, the more you go out, the more you realize collectively people are just fucking drunken assholes. And they're not fun to be around. Like, when I'm out with Cox and we go do a couple things, like if we string like 3 things in a row together, like movie, eat, and then it's like that third thing coming up, like, do you want to go see this guy at this club? You know what? We got to get the fuck home or else we're going to go crazy. Like, people are just too bananas.
I agree with that, but you're hanging out with a chick. You're hanging out with a partner. Fez is leaving work on his own. He's having some kind of sad single-serving meal that if I even let myself think about him tinkering around that kitchen with a microwave, I'll get fucking misty like a fucking woman.
I'm eating.
Fez Wadley, Hungry Man Dinners.
But I think, and I mean, like, I get this from, everybody at one point. Everybody who's friends with him, family members on his side, my side, be like that. we've got to find someone for Fez. We've got to find someone for Fez.
Well, Fez doesn't want someone for Fez. Otherwise, Fez would have found that person for Fez. People operate from a position where they feel the most comfortable operating from. Earl keeps the wall up. He lives alone. He goes to shows alone. Why? Because he can leave whenever the fuck he wants. He answers to no one. He shows up at work. And by the way, don't think I didn't notice the double standard, you guys, on Earl. You can't have arguments a month ago about who comes in earlier, who works the longest, how Earl doesn't do any work, and then the whole crux of this conversation is, hey, you know, Earl's here all night.
He is here like it's his apartment. He never does any work here. He bases himself out of 57th Street because the Queen's apartment is apparently just fucking terrible.
Well, yeah, because it's fucking Queens.
Right.
Name one reason.
I mean, he's sitting here rocking out to the lat, watching TV. He's got the game on everything. And Earl, that's why he could defend Fez. He does have fun alone.
Yeah, he's living his solitary life. He's just living it in an office building.
But the difference is, Fez, he seems to be having some kind of experiences on an intellectual level where you go there, and then we find out you don't know books, movies, you don't know music at all, and then we wonder, okay, how do you spend that alone time?
Yeah, I will say this about Earl, though, Fez. There's a difference between the way you guys are alone. Earl, I read somewhere, I don't know where it was, you need to live, but the word live in italics. When you go to bed at night and think about your day, did you fucking live? Did you live that fucking day? And Earl, though we may be alone, like we were talking a couple months ago, he'll hit the Bad Brains concert. He'll go see Stephen Lynch's Broadway show. He'll go do this. He'll show up someplace, have a couple drinks, or not drinks, but, he'll be at a social place, and then he retreats back to the house. Whereas you, Fez, you're not going to sell me on the whole vacuuming being clean, because the only way you get pleasure out of cleaning your apartment is if someone else could see it and appreciate it.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No,
I think Fez likes...
Because I can't stand a mess. If I had to look at a mess, I would really freak.
Fez likes that small accomplishments.
Like my fucking 4-year-old son. What are you, mess? Mess, Daddy, I got water on my sleeve. Well, take it easy. No, there's water on my sleeve. Take it easy, Norton.
All right, so Fez, perfect. The way you live your life, you're fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
He's not. You're so not. When that nature
I thought we were alike.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
When that nature boy comes out, we get a peek at the life you want to live. Fez, I need you to admit, maybe not now, but down the line, to be honest with your friends and your family, you want to be a wrestling manager. You are.
It's all I've ever wanted, Jay.
It is true. The only thing that keeps him away from that, travel. He will not live that lifestyle. And that, again, goes to show that if you could get over some of these things that bother you, you could do more.
You're the mouth of the South, man.
That's you, Jimmy Hart. You should have a little, we're going to get you, Hulkster. We're coming after you. That should be you.
Wow.
Not this fucking pathetic life that you've chosen for yourself.
Fez, what would my wrestler name be, and how would you talk about me if we were being interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund?
Oh, you would be like the blonde Adonis or something like that.
Oh my God,
I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I mean that's sexual now. That one is sexual. All right, thanks.
How would you talk? But hold on, I want to hear. All right, I'll take your questions up the air, but I just want to hear Fez do a little nature boy for me. Woo! Come on, Fez.
Oh, jeez.
That was lame.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump when you put a quarter in my mouth.
Oh!
Face! Oh, he hung up.
Face! Oh, see? You lost the only friend you ever had.
I still have you. You're my friend.
I was going to go to break here, but I see El Jefe up on the board. El Jefe... we just went out of our way. We stole his best friend, Pyle/Kane. El Jefe and J-Dubs, good buddies of ours, because they got the Hideout.
The Hideout is their radio show.
That's true. Yeah. So let me head back over here to El Jefe. El Jefe, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddies, how are you?
What do you say, pal?
I wanted to ask Fez a couple of questions
to
see whether or not it's truly laziness, because I completely understand everything you do in your life, you're just trying to do it as fast as you can to get home. But, Fez, are you to the point where you don't want to leave because it's a burden to tie your shoes?
The shoe tying thing doesn't bother me too bad.
See, I hate having to get dressed to go outside. Once I'm out, I'm fine with it. But getting dressed is like more of the barrier than anything else because it just seems like it's another thing to do in life.
What are you wearing around the house, F.A.?
It's always the same shorts and a hideout T-shirt, which now are worth nothing.
You know, it's always you always know the guys that are fresh into the business still wearing their own merch because as the years go by, it seems more and more embarrassing.
And then, secondly, Fez, do you, when you don't have to, do you bathe?
No, I will shower even when I don't have to.
All right. Well, then you're not lazy. Because I haven't bathed since we got fired.
Yeah, your thing, Hefe, is you're Mexican. And that's...
Well, utility bills are so high. And you got to save on that kind of stuff when you're unemployed.
What are you guys up to now?
Well, we're headed up to JFK next week to do a week of test shows. But
because they don't know you yet?
I know, right? They're completely unfamiliar. So we got a few things in the works, and thank you, buddies, for all your help.
Sure, everybody. There's a lot of interest in you, everybody I talk to, so you guys are going to do all right. What's the story with Don and Mike? They haven't been on for a while. Now I'm hearing these other rumors that maybe they're switching time slots, and then I'm hearing switching stations. Give me a...
Spy report.
Spy report.
Like I have any sort of news. They're making a test after working up there for 3 fucking years. I have no inside info. You fucking kidding me?
Huh.
All I know, I talked to Don via email, but he hadn't really told me anything, so I have no clue.
Very interesting, though.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how everything kind of shakes out. The whole free FM concept should be a lot of fun.
All right, my brother. We'll give you guys a call next week.
Oh, fantastic. And Fez, hang in there, buddy.
All right.
Thank you, pal.
Peace out. El Jefe and Dubs, they're our buddies. Love to have them here on XM.
I think their website is radiohideout.com.
No, isn't it some kind of heretics thing or something?
Hideout Heretics?
Yeah, there's some kind of craziness. Mikey Boy will have it. I'm sure he knows all about it. All right, 866-10-FEZ. We'll head into a break and right back.
Fezzy.